Day 2 of Rejection Challenge was really hard for me. So today's task, we had to do something where we know we would receive no. And as yesterday, my mind was telling me towards the end, oh, it'd be better to do it in the city where you live, because people know you and they know you are not like that. Otherwise, they will think something not true about you, and you never see them, and it's worse. So these were the thoughts that I was experiencing, as I mentioned yesterday. And today, because I was going on the way back, I wanted to stop. Well, we stopped on the petrol station in a shop and coffee shop, and I wanted to do something there, but I forgot. And of course my mind would take me off from doing this because it's uncomfortable. And when I got back, I was like, oopsie, now I have to do it here near where I live. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the shop, and because Ria gave us some examples what we could do, and I was like, I'm gonna use one of the examples and go to the shop and ask if I can get a discount, or if I can get the shopping and not pay for it, and is for me to hear no, right? And I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I said to my sister and a friend, and I was just like, I'm doing it. I went to the shop, and guess what happened? I was like, I don't know where I could do it. I don't know how. I don't know to who. Maybe I'll just ask this person that is filling up the shelves if they can give me something for free. And then I was like, no, because they might say yes, and it's not the purpose of this exercise to get a yes, to ask someone for something. It's more to be met with rejection. So I don't want to ask for things that they may be able to give me. And of course, my mind was taking me off this challenge and telling, don't ask this person, maybe ask the next one. Don't ask this one, maybe ask the next one. And you know what happened? I was by the till, and there was few people that because I go to the shop quite often, they quite know me probably, they remember me. And I was too embarrassed to ask. But I was not embarrassed to ask because I knew I would hear no. I was more embarrassed to ask because I was worried what other people think of me. And I left the shop and I started crying because I realized that I have so many conditioning beliefs that what others people think of me is more important than what I think of myself and what I want to do for myself, and is not as important as to look good in other people's eyes. And the walk home was about 15 minutes, and I cried most of the way. There was some emotions freeing up in my body. There was disappointment of myself that I couldn't do it. There was shame that I didn't do it. There was this frustration that I have this belief and I couldn't go past it. I still listened to my mind, which means that I identified with it because I wasn't able to just observe it and do what I want to do anyway. I was following my mind, which means that the identification with that belief is strong. And I was walking back, and the thoughts were like, oh, don't worry, you can ask someone on the street for something and they will say no. You can ask someone if they can carry your shopping. But there was not so many people on the street, and every time I passed by someone, it was like, oh no, this person is not right, just ask for next one. And I got myself entangled in the same story, don't do this now, do the next one, do the next one, do the next one. And the fact is I did not do it, and I came back home and I started crying. And I said to myself, okay, I didn't do it, and now I see it and I acknowledge it, and I acknowledge my emotions, and I acknowledge how scared I am from being seen not adequately to who I am. That being seen in a good way is more important for me, for my ego, than being true to myself and doing what I want to do. And I acknowledged it, and I said, okay, I did not do it. What can I do now? And what came to me is that I could call someone and ask for something for free. So I called some food delivery, some pizza and other things, and I was like, okay, this I can do. Because they can't see my face, it was a little bit easier. So even though I couldn't do certain things, I still acknowledge myself and my courage for doing that. And I've called few numbers, I think 3, and I asked them for free pizza. Or I called a hotel and I asked them if they could give me a night for free. And of course, everyone said no. And I was like, thank you. And they were a little bit confused. That's how I felt. But one even apologized to me that sorry mom, but I can't do that. But it felt quite good to receive no, and it felt good that I did it despite my what I would consider failure earlier. But failure is only failure if we fail and give up. And I failed, but I stood up and did it again. Smaller step, but I'm walking and I'm ready and willing to keep challenging myself, keep facing myself. And I had no idea that only day 2 out of 7, this challenge is 7 days, will bring up so many emotions and so much resistance. Thank you for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.